bit too fast on that one, guys. So let me tell you 3 reasons you can do wheelies. Number 1, you suck. Number 2, you really suck. Number 3, you totally suck. Just kidding. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm not being for real on this, like totally joking, okay? Wheelies are something that takes a lot of practice. So number 1, you're not practicing enough, right? So to do wheelies, you know, to learn them properly, it took me years. And the one I did back there, not properly, okay? I was chasing the crap out of that one. So it took me years to get to where I can do wheelies comfortably and do wheelies 9 times out of 10, do a really great wheelie, right? Not a stunner by any means. Never claimed to be, never will. Not something I intend to ever do, but I make a lot of wheelie tutorial videos on YouTube, and so I guess I'm technically I get paid for that, so I'm technically a professional, right? Professional wheelie-er on YouTube. So anyways, 3 tips, not 3 tips, but 3 things you are doing wrong, the reasons you can't wheelie. And number 1 is definitely always practice, practice, practice. So many people come to me and they're like, hey man, I've been trying wheelies for like 6 seconds and I can't do them. I'm like, have you tried going out and doing them for 7 seconds? Maybe start there. No, but seriously, I see so many people, they have just started riding or they just started trying wheelies and they're like a week into it and they're already asking me for tips, like maybe you should spend more time on the bike rather than asking people questions about the bike, the process. All right, so when I first learned how to wheelie, I used to go out by myself with no one else because I wanted no distractions whatsoever. I would go out by myself to this secluded location, undisclosed, and I would go out there and I would literally practice doing wheelies for hours at a time, guys. Seriously, I would go out there for like 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours at a time and do nothing but wheelies back and forth. And I sucked at them, you know, not gonna lie, everybody starts somewhere, but I wasn't that great at them. I started doing wheelies, I remember counting lines, like I would try to wheelie from one line to the other. That's how bad my wheelies were. And eventually over time, all that practice paid off and I got to where I am now, where I can ride wheelies for, you know, a mile or so. And it's just practice, like with anything in life, the more you do it, the better you're going to become at it, the more efficient you're going to become at your skill, right? So wheelies are one of my skills, and like I said, it took me months of hard practice, like non-stop. It's like sometimes I would practice till my clutch hand and my throttle hand would be like so sore that I didn't want to ride for like a week. But that's just part of the process, just something. Like some people are going to catch on faster than others, and maybe I caught on fast, maybe I caught on slow. I don't know. It's hard to judge that. But I learned how to do them regardless. So like I said though, it did take a long time to do it. That wasn't cool. So tip number 2, not enough throttle. This is definitely number 2, like a number 2 on the list. Like, not enough throttle. So many people will go out and they will try to do the wheelies and they're afraid to give it enough throttle to come up. And I know, because I was there once and I see Heather, like Heather's been practicing wheelies lately and she is afraid to give it too much throttle. And I highly suggest you go this route rather than be the person who's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and give it 100% throttle, just loop it, why not? I would highly suggest you go the route of being afraid to give it too much throttle, because you can gradually increase the amount of throttle that you give it to. If you start at the top, you're only gonna have to work your way back, right? So start, like, I would start at like half throttle, and then work your way up, more throttle. But most of the time people are going to be afraid of the bike and not give it enough throttle, which brings me to the third part, being afraid. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid to do wheelies, because I remember when I first started doing wheelies, I was scared, man. Like, it was scary, for real. Like, okay, this is not a dirt bike. You're not going 20 miles an hour in the dirt. You're on the street, right? You're on a 300, 400, 500 pound bike, depending on what you're riding. And if you go down, you crash, you loop, something like that, it's not going to be good. Believe me, I've seen it. It's not going to be good. So it is okay to be afraid of doing the wheelie, because like I said, I've been there before, and Heather's been there. Heather's there right now. Like, she's getting better, she's getting more confident in her skills, but I can tell she's still timid on the fact that she needs to give it more throttle. And that all boils down to being afraid, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'll say that a million times, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. And a lot of people are afraid to, for one, which is kind of dumb, but a lot of people are more worried about hurting their bike than hurting themselves. So you need to think about, number one is you, number two is the bike. So you want to protect yourself. So always wear safety gear and stuff like that. Obviously helmets, jackets, gloves, boots, all that stuff. That lady totally was gonna pull out in front of me. That's why you gotta ride defensively, guys. So anyways, yeah, being afraid, there's nothing wrong with it. You will get over that fear eventually. The more you do it, practice, goes back to number one. The more throttle that you give, the more used to the bike coming up that you're gonna get to, right? So, like I said, it took me months to get over that fear of, you know, like, getting the bike higher and higher and higher, and eventually you get to balance point, and that's where the really scary stuff happens, because that's where you're on that, you're teetering between riding the wheelie, chasing the wheelie, and looping the wheelie. Not something you want to do. You want to ride it, you want to chase it, but you don't want to loop it, right? Loopy poopy. So yeah, guys, those are the main three reasons that I see why people can't wheelie. And wheeling is a skill, and it's fun, and it's so addicting, man. It really is. Like, once you learn how to wheelie and do them properly and safely, you will be addicted probably for life. They are just so much fun. Like, riding a bike in general is fun, but riding a wheelie on a bike is like that much fun times 10, right? So yeah, guys, wheelies can be fun, but wheelies can be dangerous. I love this road. If you guys remember the video a while back where Heather got electrocuted at this, I think it was, yeah, there was this fence right here with the baby horses out there. I don't think they're out there anymore. But yeah, I'm totally off subject now. Here comes another bike. So alright, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace, ride safe, and lots of practice, a little bit more throttle, and you will get over your fears eventually. Alright, guys, peace and ride safe.